Hello, 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 everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's on? How is everybody doing? Guys, people of the sea, people of everywhere. The past makes the future. Hear me out. Guys, this is a real talk right here. Real talk, chat and chill. These are my opinions. These are my thoughts. You can stay here if you want. Again, this is my channel, so I'm going to talk whatever I want. If you don't like it, you can click off. It's okay. It's fair. We're all human. We don't like certain aspects. But yes, guys. Um, Also, I got a little light. I got a little light. The little light I have. Now, I don't know what's going on with my tripod, but it's been very, like, all over the place. I'm not sure if it's even my tripod or the freaking, the live stream. But I guess we're dancing. We're gonna be dancing, I guess, with the weirdness. I don't know what it is. It's just going up and down. But yeah, guys. So I wanna like vent on this real quick. If anybody joins, yeah, I'll be here a little bit longer. But oh, thank you for whoever followed. Thank you. Um, Guys, this kind of bugs me in a way to where it's all like, yeah, this bouncing too. It's all over the place. Hold on, give me a sec. I don't think it's gonna work like that. Let me see. Hold on, let me try to fix that bouncing. And it's weird. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. No? No work? Well, hopefully you don't get too agitated in this video by watching the bouncingness. I don't know. Remember a long time ago we used to um, have like bubbles and stuff. What is that? Relighting on. I didn't even know you could do that. Lighting. Relighting off. Huh. Okay, but yeah, I can't clarify it. I don't know what's going on. Technical difficulties here. But if you're listening to me, thank you still. Don't mind the picture in the back. I don't know what's going on. Um, okay, guys. So, the reason why I say this is because I was told something like about last year about how I had bad experience back then that I'm so traumatized about my bad experience. And I could say yes, I'm traumatized and I have my guard all the way up. If you don't have your guard up and you throw it down for a second, you're gonna be taken advantage of. And that past, it's going to stick with you no matter what. You cannot get rid of it. Now, hear me out. The past will make you a better person if you let it. The past is the past. However, the past made you to who you are to this day. If you did not have, it's like literally, it's like a big summary right here. But if you did not have those past experiences, that past trauma, anything from the past, you would be not the person you are today. Now, for the young people that are just barely starting off, Now, I was having a conversation with my coworker about, because he was talking about last year about giving his nieces and nephews Christmas gifts. I never touched up on it. Like, hold on, my nose is going crazy. It's because I wanted to sneeze. I wanted to sneeze, but I held it in. But I never asked them about how they liked the Christmas gift. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, how did your niece like the beanbag that you gave her?" Then he says that I should have never gave her this because she's acting completely rebellious and she can't be in school right now because she's just too bad. Like she wants to be the bad person. And I said, well, she is a teenager, so it makes a whole bunch of sense. And he was describing her like every other teenager out there. I'm not saying all teenagers are bad, but every other teenager just wants to be bad. They want to slack off in school. They want to be with friends and just not care about their grades. They're just being like mischievous, going out, want to hang out with friends, want to hang out with guys. Just being a teenager. Some people, I mentioned this like in my last season about teenagers and stuff, kids and teenagers and stuff. You got to understand and get in the mindset of a teenager. You were once there. You might not have been that particular wild and beastie teenager and going crazy with their hormones. Maybe you were a quiet teenager. Maybe you just played video games and that was it. Or you just didn't have any friends. So, like I said, you got to stick your mindset into what they are feeling. And I told him, I said, it makes sense that she's going crazy. Her hormones are everywhere. And when I say hormones, it's not being sexual, but I'm saying all the imbalancements of her pH, her periods come in, probably, she don't know how to act. If you ever seen a cat in heat, you see them that they're it looks like it hurts because they're crying and meowing and flopping and going crazy and just it literally looks like they're in pain because of that emotion that they feel. And I feel the same way with some of these teenagers. Like they're so frustrated, like my mom never listened to me, blah blah blah. And then it just they just get to a point where it's like, you're so annoying, mom. You're so annoying, dad. You never let me go out, and it's basically from the parents' sake. Like I don't want you going out because these things might happen, and as a parent, you're trying to protect your teenagers and stuff. Or moral of the story is, I told him, I said, she will calm down in the future. Around her 25, 26, she will come back to mama and say, Mama, I really appreciate you being in my life. And she'll be all up on her mama, like, oh, my mama this, my mama that. Like, before when she was a teenager, no. Time progresses and time skip. Now, it may not all play out the same way, but eventually, some of those rebellious teenagers, they start loving their mom after a certain age. It could be in their 30s, it could be in their 25s, it could be in their 27s. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as I've seen life itself, that's where the kicker is. And it makes total sense because again, they're going through something. They're going through a lot of changes in their body. They're going through a lot of changes in their mind. There's the hormones everywhere. They don't know how to act. They want to be popular. They want to go out. So it makes sense. But that's where it goes. The past of them made the future of them. So the past of them being rebellious, whatever they're doing, is making a better future for them. And like I said, I'm gonna come off color. Oh, this right here. No. Oh, where's my chinchilla? So since we talked about teenagers, let's talk about relationships. The past of your relationships I don't know what the heck that was. The past of your relationships makes a better future for you as well, guys. You learn from your relationships, whether it's not communicating, whether it's cheating, highly cheating is mostly involved. We'll get there in just a second. Whether it's family that broke you up, whether it's like the job broke you up, like it, all of it is all experience. All of it, all of your experiences from that past. Now, when it comes to cheating, I have mentioned this like my last season. I talked about all relationship stuff in my last season. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. I have a whole playlist. It's season 5 of BM Worlds. But people get so hurt of someone that they love cheat on them. Now, we sometimes as a relationship we get tossed in the sauce and lost in the sauce and all on the sauce and just everywhere in the sauce is what is the definition of cheating. And a lot of people will say, well, having intercourse with someone else or talking to someone else in a flirtatious way or well hanging out with them. And so like as in being in a relationship, you know that those things trigger you because of those things are the ones that are basically you're traumatized of. It could have been your past experience, or it could be the experience you're having right now. But those things have traumatized you, and you don't want to feel an abandonment. You don't want to feel unwanted. So a lot of relationships happen that way, where it's all cheating involved. I had mentioned this, like I said, a while back, about really a while back in my last season. But yeah, so that past made a better you to find something or not find anybody. Let's just say that past. Well, let's put it in my perspective because it's a lot easier. That past of just all that drama of when you're being home, what are we gonna eat? Just all that drama. Spending time with each other. Ugh, like all that little drama made me not want to be in a relationship. And so like that past experience made me be the person that I am today because I'm like, ugh, I feel icky and sticky if I feel those feelings like, oh my God, like that toxic feeling. And then once it becomes like you like that person, then you become a little bit toxic because you don't want that person to go away. You get clingy, you get nasty. Like it's a nasty feeling. I don't know. That's just to me. I guess because, like I said, I grew up as a person, and yeah, I have feelings for a one, but sometimes I just don't want that actual feeling of being in a relationship, blah blah, blah. And it just continues on. So that's my past, the past that made the future that I am today. Another past, guys, is another past is getting over a loved one that was once living. Now, I want to summarize over this because I've said it so many times. Hold on. So many times during my live streams, all my live streams, I'm practically repeating myself all the time. But grief, guys, you gotta learn how to cope with it. The person that was once living in your life is no longer here. It's understandable. And that past, whoever was it, let's say somebody that raised you, that past, you memorize it in your brain constantly. Again, this is where it's still always gonna be there. Your grandma cooked for you, or your mom cooked for you, or your dad took you out hunting. Like that past is always gonna be there. You those are memories that are locked in. And not all past is bad. Some past is good. And sometimes, you can go to a funeral, or you can go to the cemetery and think about the moments that you had with that person. Now, that past still can make you go forward into the future and continue on. And I said that like I said, I keep repeating myself, but it's true. Let's say if your mother wanted to go to Antarctica and she never went and she passed away. Well, you know what? Instead of grieving, saying she never got to go to Antarctica, how about you take a little piece of whatever it is that she loved and cherished, and that's a memory towards, a little piece of that. Gather yourself enough money, go to Antarctica and enjoy it. Enjoy it for her. Don't grieve that she didn't go. You are the next generation. You take that in consideration, guys. That is true facts. A lot of people have stuck memories where it's like, oh, she never got to go to Las Vegas. She never got to go to Las Vegas, but you know what? How about you make it up and you take her spiritually and go to Las Vegas yourself? Because you are the future. So, hello, welcome in. And that past makes you better, and you start understanding. But like I said, it's a lot. Again, hear me out. And past relationships, past people in your friend groups. Guys, another one is a friend group. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for the likes. Another one is a friend group. Now, your past friend group may have hurt you a lot, and you chose another friend group. A lot of people go friend groups to friend groups, or just go one friend to another friend. Because I don't know, because I don't know the definition of a friend, never had one. But this is what I've seen throughout human history, is that people will jump. People will jump other people because they're trying to gain different experience as well. Life is giving you these people in your life, and you're making a better future by getting these experiences from someone. Like, let's say if somebody was a bad person, you didn't know they were a bad person, you just started talking to them, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I killed someone, and you're like, oh my god, okay, I'm gonna stay away from you. And automatically you're already scared, and automatically you're like, I don't want to hang out with this crowd, or I don't want to hang out with these people, or it could be the opposite. It could be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So the crowd that you hang out with, the people that you hang out with, are going to have some sort of history in you that's going to make you a better person. Maybe you want to withdraw out of that, and you're trying to get rid of those people, and you're like, well, how do I go? It's kind of a sticky situation. Like I said, hear me out. If you hear me out, you hear me out. Hello, welcome in. And also, don't mind the bouncing and bouncing. I don't know what's going on with the frame. I try to fix it, but it just keeps bouncing. But yeah, the past makes the future, guys. I don't care if it's trauma. I don't care if it's past relationships. And another one too, guys. Just because one, this is hands down, guys, it ticks me off. Just because someone talks about their ex doesn't mean that they're not over them. Okay? Your ex is an experience, guys. Your ex was a life that you had, and you're just briefing over. That's it. So I myself could care less if somebody says, me and my ex went there before. I'm not gonna be like, oh, she still cares about her ex. No, that was a memory that you had, and it brought that up. Period. Like, be so for real. Cause I was in my last relationship for about 10 years, and of course, places, things, whatever are gonna come up. Be like, oh, me and my ex went there before. It it's not like an attachment thing. Like, oh, I'm thinking about him right now, this second. No, it's a memory that had locked into your brain that you just kind of want to explode it. Like, oh, I went here before, and then if you don't say X and you just say I went here before with someone, and then maybe the person says, what kind of someone? And then now you gotta be pressured to say, oh, my ex. Again, those are the things, guys. The past makes the future, guys. I can I literally feel like I can elaborate all day long about the past makes the future, literally, because all your experiences, everything that you learn from the ABCs to relationships to friendships to, your family, animals, it's all the past that has once happened, and you learn from it, and you gain confidence in the future. Like, you know what to expect. If I go into some if I go into a room full of people, I myself could analyze every single person and be like, okay, and talk to one individual about their life, and then they continue to say a typical repeated life, and I'm all like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. And then they can either A, take it seriously and be like, oh yeah, does it? And then they'll be like, there's other people who'll be like, you're not even listening to me. And it's all like, yes, do you not know every other or so individual is a repeated life? They're just going through it differently. We have households, same way. The father may be a drinker and he can't stop drinking, and the mother's just struggling, and the kids got to go through something, or a relationship may be toxic, and maybe the girls being toxic, maybe the boys being toxic. Their teenager that hates their parents now because of them not letting go out, and blah blah blah. There's so many things out there that are so typical, like really, really typical. The father working, the mother staying at home, the kids going to school. Everything is so typical. People's lifestyles are literally abbreviated repeatedly. So that locked into my brain, where it's all like the past makes the future. So I've seen all these people in the past, and I'm seeing them in the future. I mean, I live in an apartment complex. I see it all the time. The people downstairs. How many neighbors have I had where it's a stay-at-home mom? And I live in a Hispanic community. How I think about 3 or 4 neighbors from downstairs. And I've been living here for like 9 years. Always a stay-at-home mom. Sometimes there was one couple that did have a job, and they fluctuated, where one stayed at home and then the other one went to work. And again, it's just so typical, you know. And that's just the way life is. We just got to accept it. The past makes the future. I myself, I cannot complain about my life. I'm living in a stable condition. I've been on my own for 9 years plus, and I feel good that I don't have to come home with someone and have someone wreck up my stuff, not knowing where things are, and it just feels so much better and so much peace. Now, people all the time say, when the like people all the time say, well, what happens if you get lonely? Don't you need a cuddle? Don't you need someone there who's gonna take care of you when you get old? That typicalness. And it's all like, I already thought about that. And we can't make the future, guys. We can go for the future. Oh, you know what? I know why my phone is doing that. I might know why my phone is doing that. It's because my phone charger was in there. There it goes. Took me almost half the live stream to get that out. Mama. But, you know, I I don't even know where the heck I was. But I consider the lifestyle that I have, I don't know, it's not that typical, because it's very rare where I see, if I do see an individual that's single, independent, they're either going out like crazy. And I understand that. That makes total sense. Hello, hello, welcome in. That you got to get that out of your system. You got to get that out of your like. I did the same thing about 5 years ago and some change, where I just went out every single day, and I just partied hard. I went here, went there, I went bar hopping, and I don't even know what bars they were. They were just bars that we're going to. I don't even know where, because we were going crazy. And I was once there too. So once that happens, you kind of settle down. You got to let everything out. When you've been in a relationship for so long, don't just jump to another freaking relationship. If you're the type of person that goes into a relationship and doesn't have that past, to understand that, hey, maybe I need to take the time off, because you still haven't figured that out, because a lot of people have not. A lot of people have not. A lot of people have not figured out how to not cling onto another relationship. Just be alone. Separate yourself. Live your life. Stop stressing who's going to love you. Love yourself, for a sake. Stop stressing who's going to freaking love you. Love yourself. But, but yeah, like I said, in my brain, I all the time can say, my past made me the person I am today. And your brain, it may not have been, but some people do go through ups and downs when they're a child, and they're poor, they had nothing to eat, and now they made a success for themselves. A lot of kids struggle at a young age, and then either they go the right way or they go the wrong way. The wrong way is being on being on pills themselves and doing bad things themselves because they're in that same little loophole, or they can do better. You ever watch that? Well, I'm saying it like if somebody was here, but anybody else watch that movie Notorious? You gotta go watch that movie. That movie's pretty good. It's an old movie, but again, guys, I see a couple people here. If y'all interacted, I would have stayed here a little bit longer. Thank you for the little likes too. But we can't see the future. We can only go forward to the future. We can only say, okay, in 2027, I'm going to do this, or in 2026, I'm going to do this. Like, we can only say those things and have a goal towards the future. But the past is always going to be there. It's always going to be there that you're going to think about, and it's going to be the experience that you have and had. So that means that person that you are today, that past is still there. No matter if it's trauma, don't care. That past made you for who you are today. And if it didn't, and you're still young, you're still growing. Now, I if you have any other experiences stuff, or you want to say your own opinions, and let me know in the comment section down below, because I want to hear from others too. Did your past help you in the future? Did you learn? Did you learn to do something? There's a lot of people that don't learn from their future and they're stuck in a loophole. But yeah, let me know in that comment section down below. The past makes the future. Hear me out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.